Welcome to our model on collective becoming. If you think that you're a mystic, you're in the right place. If you're not really sure, you're still in the right place. If you're hoping to get the skills to hex someone into loving you, then you're definitely in the right place. Today we will be focusing on control, obsession, paranoia, possession. Love is like a collective seizure of anxiety. If there's one thing that we can all understand, it's feeling fucking anxious. Maybe also feeling anxious about fucking. Over the course of this module, you will learn how to get deep, really, really deep into these emotions. You will learn how to press on your optic nerve until we all fall on the floor like mystics. Haven't you always wanted to writhe on the floor together? We are firmly against group hugs and other forms of fake connection, but we are deeply into how good it feels to spread sexual paranoia. Begin.
On giving something you don't have to someone who doesn't want it, and Vanity Fair. Perhaps now would be a good time to tell you meaningless sex bears no value to me. I guess past experiences taught me that, regardless of the creature, I need spontaneity, care, affection, and trust before giving away my little flower. I do trust you though. Sometimes, I'm not even sure we do have a relationship anymore. Perhaps this was just in my head, and perhaps you're one of the many personas who live within me, encountered once in a fuzzy dream, never to be seen again. Remember when I told you I was a survivor? As a creator, I'm supposed to take care. As a Pisces, you'd assume I'm often vague, dazed, confused, and dressed like a baby clown.
I could add controlling, manipulative, obsessive, paranoid, and possessive. All that may be true. I'm also supposed to be in touch with celestial forces, so be wary. Sometimes, though, I just don't understand how I can even end up in these situations with nothing to be remorseful about, nor anything to be proud of. Just living this quiet life, being at peace. It scares me to be both so naive and think ahead, or to clarify, not to know for sure what awaits. The things I don't know that will still happen, and with which I will have to deal regardless. Nothing is everlasting. This is so thrilling. I just don't want to end up being pitied because of a life continuously made out of poor decisions, nor repeat the same mistakes until it's over. The fetish of the secret can be the most unruly kind of fetish. It thrives exactly on the boundary of the other side of trust. Feel her hips slamming against the cheeks of my ass, my forehead against the mirror, dirty sink on my elbows, lost the self finally for a few seconds because if this is something secret, then it will go unrecounted.
Writers struggle with overshare and figuring out how much of it to keep and how much of it to give away, and that's not even considering what you charge for. There's a difference, Dennis Cooper maintains, between content and authorial intent, and a well-placed joke can suture the two lead you through that slick brain avenue. I have to pee, but will the story wait for me? And definitely don't tell her that I rimmed you in a shower stall on the way back from a weekend in Reno. It wasn't my fault. It was because I saw my mother, and you know how that makes me feel. In Katie Acker's rewriting of Dario Argento's Suspiria, the mom becomes a school, becomes a cunt, and maggots drop everywhere from the red walls, crawling out from the fleshy parts that are mom's intimacy, all those things we'd rather not believe in.
The subjectivity of our caretakers when we become their caretakers. The sun was very bright in the Barcelona Municipal Library, a wonder that couldn't have been imagined by a suburban girl from the USA. But here it is now, right in front of me. It is also possible that conspicuous vanity may, in the end, only rise as an attempt to fill the void, to compensate the lack of meaning, and to cope for socially constructed paradigms. Ideal thus takes the form of a tangible representation invested or projected into one another, for what we see and interpret is only a distorted and context-based representation of our will. We met in a group for people whose exes told them they were too controlling, obsessive, paranoid, and possessive, but once we were talking about all of this together, we realized that normalcy is just whatever most people think. So instead of changing ourselves, we should change the world.
We think you're really cute, Paris, and we want to have sex with you and then get all controlling and paranoid about it. Haven't you always wanted to have someone obsessed with you? I'm sure you have. We're good at it. Come find us over by the bar. We're waiting for you. But that's so dark. Lighten up. Love is light, right? Never anxious or whatever. We leave you with the last possession.
Contrary to what Joanna Hedva said in her sick woman theory, I still think sending love letters is a way of resisting capitalism, for they should be sent nec spe nec metu, with for only intention the significance of one's affection, the sender, towards one another, the receiver. In the true nature of love, what else could be? In a way, as long as it's not returned to its sender, quoting Elvis here, BTW. And for that, it would be compulsory to clearly say where it can be found. All love letters shall be considered bottles in the sea, messages left in the lost and found section of a post office somewhere on earth, awaiting to finally find its recipient. Now is a good time to smoke a cigarette. Does that feel better? Good. Pick your favorite toxin and smear it all over your body. Good. Most toxic things take 1,000,000 years to degrade, so now we're all basically immortal. We're into immortality because it means that maybe all the old white conservative men will die and will get to dance on their stupid corpses forever. Then we'll live even longer and we'll forget all about them. We know that this kind of thing is possible because we're basically psychic. Through control and obsession, we are learning how to read minds, how to predict what is coming, also how to have better and better and better sex. Let's practice a bit of what we've learned so far. Please do not join hands, but do repeat after us.
Je suis Simone Veil.
Je suis Simone Veil.
Je suis Marguerite Porrette.
Je suis Marguerite Porrette.
Je suis Marjorie Kemp.
Je suis Marjorie Kemp.
Je suis Thérèse Davila et Johanna Edva.
Je suis Thérèse Davila et Johanna Edva.
Je suis mystique.
Je suis mystique.
Je suis toutes les mystiques.
Je suis toutes les mystiques.
Ta voix, je l'entends.
Ta voix, je l'entends.
Tes yeux sur moi, je les sens.
Tes yeux sur moi, je les sens.
Ta présence.
Ta présence.
Tu n'as pas besoin de te faire entendre.
Tu n'as pas besoin de te faire entendre.
You shall not speak.
You shall not speak.
You don't have to speak to be heard.
You don't have to speak to be heard.
Ooh, it's a
little creepy, isn't it? Collective becoming can be a creepy experience. It makes your skin crawl. It's perfect for opening the self to the paranoia of sexual attraction.